afternoon, Sun fam. You're locked into Sun for You, the only station that hits different because it's built by us, for us, right here at Sunway. I'm your Kishan Kumar KK, and whether you're catching us live, on replay, or someone just sent you this link at 2 a.m., you're welcome. You made the right call. We got music, we got conversations that actually mean something. We got people in the room who have something real to say. And this is Sun for You. Together today we do have like a wonderful co-host with us today, and
I'm Jet from Sunway Film Society. Jet like the transportation. Sunway Film Society is a quite new club in Sunway where we appreciate films, and all film lovers are free to join for their wonderful home on campus. Yeah,
that's cool. Welcome, Jet. Welcome from Sunway Film Society here. And let's go. It's your KK here, where conversations feel like home, your voice, your vibe. So today, we are talking about something that affects every single person in this university who has ever picked up a camera, written a screenplay, or maybe just asked a question. How do I actually get my film made? We are talking about film funding in Malaysia. That's quite an important topic to be spoken today. And specifically, is the system that's supposed to support Malaysian filmmakers actually working? Or is it broken in ways nobody wants to say out loud? Yeah, you know what I mean. So, to dig in deeper, I would like to introduce our honorable guest here today. And we have someone who doesn't just have opinions on this. He's literally been inside the machine, yeah? And our guest today is Dato Kamil Othman. Yeah, please welcome Dato Kamil Othman, everyone.
Right, hello, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for being here, sir. It really means a lot.
You're most welcome.
All right. And he served as Director General of FINAS, that's the National Film Development Corporation Malaysia, from 2014 to 2016. And he's now back as FINAS Chairman, appointed in 2023. He's also the VP of the Asian Film Commission Network and currently CEO of Petra Media, right?
That's history now.
All right.
Yes, but I was there, and in fact, even with FINAS, I ended my chairmanship last year.
All right, last year, yeah. All right,
so basically, I'm retired now.
All right, that's cool, sir. I mean, it really means a lot for you to be here, sir. Like, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no worries, sir. And in short, if Malaysian cinema has a future, I think this man has had a hand in drawing the blueprint for it.
That's right. Now, whether people actually follow that blueprint or not is another story. But that's not meant as a criticism. It's meant that we have other priorities, perhaps, that has superseded the need to look into specific areas for the film industry in particular.
That's really great. That's really good.
Big thank you to our senior lecturer Asmil Yusof from Sunway University's Department of Film and Theatre, who's the reason we are even having this conversation right now. He brought Dato Kamil into this room today.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Asmil.
Thanks as well.
All right. And Dato Kamil, thank you for being here once again. And let's not waste any time. Before we get into the policy and the money and the politics of it all, right? I want to start somewhere personal. All right. So let's go. Before we dive into the funding, film policy, and etc., just for context, how did you personally fall into the world of Malaysian film? And was there a moment where you thought, like, this is where I'm meant to be, sort of thing? Yeah.
Like most people, it's the interest from a very young age. I've always loved the cinema. Because even at primary school stage, cinema were like windows to the world. I mean, that's how we were not doing a lot of traveling at that time. So cinema opens up a whole new dimension, a whole new world. And on top of the stories, is also a place where it's also a communal thing. You would go with your parents, friends, The only thing I think that made things a little bit more interesting was when I began to realize that for every film, there's someone behind it that's telling me a story. So storytelling becomes one of the crucial
integral aspects.
Aspect of watching a film.
Cool.
So this is why if anybody likes stories, remember in those days there was no internet, there was no anything. So the cinema was your window to the world, and you are listening to other people's stories.
There's a quote from a film where it says like, if you watch films, you are living 3 times your life.
Yes.
Because you're able to look into the different lenses of the
Correct,
filmmakers.
correct,
Yeah.
yes.
I think the perspective changes, I
right.
guess, as it goes.
And because I like reading as well, so that
Wow.
helps. So
Mhm.
there's a combination of the reading and the interpretation of what's in a book onto the screen.
Got it.
So I mean, it didn't happen immediately,
Mm.
but it sort of gradually evolves.
Cool.
So this is why we could distinguish between the entertainment side and the edutainment side.
All right.
You know, it's like a little.
I think it's like an intersection, like, right,
Correct.
you know, two different worlds coming together kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Alright.
absolutely. Yeah.
Because I've heard you're also really into music. You even hosted like a radio show, the
Oh,
alternative
yes,
rock
yes.
show. Yeah. So like,
Oh,
what made
gosh.
you in the end up in film rather than more into
Oh,
music?
well, actually, it's a concurrent thing. Most of us will have hobbies that began when we were 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
So happens that mine happens to be 3 things actually.
Mhm.
One is reading,
Okay.
the other is music, listening to music, and the
Cool.
other is watching films.
Right.
And when I come to think about it now,
Mhm.
there is a commonality with all these 3: music,
I think
movies, and reading.
Mm.
It is like there's
I
a
think
little-
one leads into
Yes,
another, isn't
into
it? Like,
another.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and I believe like all this comes under the one umbrella called art. isn't
That's
it?
right. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Even for music.
Yeah.
Remember, I was saying
Uh-huh.
earlier that you watch a film and you are conscious that someone is
Mhm.
trying to tell you a story.
Yeah.
Then you listen to music.
Mhm.
Someone is also
Trying to tell you a story.
trying to tell you a story, but in the
Yeah.
form of a melody. And
Mhm.
in those days, in my case, it was the Beatles. Remember, those
Yeah,
were the
of
early
course.
days, the
They are like the
1960s.
legend, though. Yeah.
The 1960s.
Right.
This was
Mhm.
the early days of the Rolling Stones, the
Mhm.
Beatles, and having grown up listening to my late father's music collection,
Mhm.
you could see that revolution that was taking place, because my father was still the conventional, what I call balladeer,
Oh.
ballads,
Wow.
right?
Okay,
Ballads,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
people
Uh-huh.
would sing, Tom Jones type.
All right.
Johnny B.
and,
Good.
yes, Connie Francis, and then
Mm.
suddenly this revolution came. The
Cool.
Beatles came with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart
Yeah.
Club Band, and then rock music.
Mhm.
But this is the interesting thing about the music part.
Mhm.
You mentioned I was on the radio show. Yes,
Mhm.
I was. There was more of a self-indulgence
Mhm.
because the owner of the radio station was my classmate.
All right. Okay. Okay. I got
so
it. Yeah.
I was complaining to him one day. I said, "Your DJs
Mhm.
can play a lot of wonderful music,
Mhm.
but they seem detached from the music that they are playing."
Mhm.
Then he
Yeah.
said, "If you are such a smart ass,
Mhm.
go and do it yourself." So it was more like a bet, like
Okay.
like a dare.
It's like you challenge me kind of
Yeah,
thing.
challenge
Yeah.
me
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I
And you proved to him.
collected a few CDs
Mhm.
and I decided to do what I call is a thematic program.
All right. Cool.
Meaning, if I talk about punk rock, I've
Mhm.
got to go back to the how punk actually evolved.
Understood.
So basically, if you like Nirvana,
Mhm.
Ah.
I was trying to speculate when Kurt Cobain was a young boy,
Okay.
what kind of music was he listening to? Because remember, you are what you are. If you're a musician, it all depends on what daddy would play in the
So I think
house
you
and
go
all
all
that.
the way back to the roots,
Right.
isn't it, to
Ah,
like dig it up.
Uh,
Yeah.
So I decided that the radio show shouldn't just be a normal DJ spinning disc.
Yep.
Let's make it a bit boring, like a lecture,
It's like a case study.
by telling you simple things like this. The blues gave birth to a child and they call it rock and roll.
Yeah.
Damn,
Say what you like.
Right.
The first invasion of rock music was always blues based, and it
Mhm.
all began from the music of the slaves,
Understood.
which was not accepted in America at that time because there was, not to say not accepted,
The
but it was
politics.
difficult to
Yeah.
accept.
Mhm.
That is why it was the British sailors
Mhm.
who went to the United States,
Mhm.
brought back all these blues records
Mhm.
to England. And that's how the English kids were listening to all this
Blues.
Johnny B.
Johnny
Good,
B.
Chuck Berry,
Mhm.
Muddy Waters, and all this.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And guess
Mhm.
which is the port that they always return to from US to England?
Uh,
Liverpool.
Really? Right.
Yeah,
That's
where-
cool. Yeah,
where
I'm a
did-
Liverpool fan. A
Yeah,
huge
where-
Liverpool fan.
Yeah, where did the Beatles come from?
Liverpool. Yeah.
It wasn't
right.
London.
Yeah.
London was just a commercial center.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
you'll find in England is the Midlands that where the greatest exposure to
Correct.
all this what at that time we call it the black music, which was more easily acceptable in the US at that time.
So is it more like a protest, sir? Like,
Well, blues is about pain.
mhm.
It's about pain and suffering,
Yeah.
and about the occasional, raunchy,
Mhm.
romantic kind of thing.
Cool.
That famous "I wake up this morning" kind of thing.
Understood, sir.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
But
So that was the gist of the show.
Yeah, I think I'm just like to ask you something, sir. Since you've brought in the film stuff and this kind of like very interesting history that I think most of us would never heard of. Like, I just wanna ask like something that people told me. Like recently, I've been hearing people telling like, films and music, they are a bunch of lies. It's like a bunch of distractions from facing the reality and stuff, right?
Mhm.
So what do you have to say to those kind of people who have this kind of mindset? Like they see films and music as just merely a bunch of distraction indeed. So what do you have to say? To
Entertainment. There was
Yeah.
Well,
because the
I-
thing is, right, they were trying to say that when people out there are saving cancer patients out there, right? So what you guys are doing with films and music, yeah? Like I think most of the Asian parents' mentality is also in such way. So do you have anything to say?
Well, although I believe in, I can agree to disagree.
Okay.
That's the basis of life, I suppose. Yeah,
Okay.
We agree on some things, disagree, but you don't have to fight, over things. But
And,
that statement is actually very unjustified because I would say that the soul of a nation or of a people, of a society,
mhm,
will be reflected in the music they create
mhm.
and in the films they make.
Yeah.
Understood.
The art.
So it's art,
It
yes,
shows the zeitgeist.
correct. So it's all about like
Mm.
Piramli. 500 years from now, we are still talking
Mm.
about Piramli, and films like that. So to say it's a waste of time, I would disagree with that, is
Mhm.
because it's not about time. So would you say playing golf is a waste of time? So you see, it's all about what actually makes you happy.
Understood. Sir.
So the ones who are disagreeing could be a small minority who's
Mhm.
making a comparison with something else.
Yeah.
Yes, we should be concentrating on cancer patients, health, and all that.
Mhm.
But all this is part and parcel of that whole circle of society's level of tolerance
Okay.
on certain things.
All right.
And music, I mean, the black man's music in the US has always symbolized the need for freedom, right? Oppression.
Understood.
And
Yes,
later
fight
it
against
came back.
oppression.
Remember, they were all acoustic guitar,
Yeah.
and all the Brits did was to electrify it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it became rock,
Yeah.
and still the messages were there. Entertainment. So you are in the difficult health, you listen to music. It's
Mhm.
just as therapeutic as going to a
Yeah.
psychiatrist or a
Sure.
psychologist. you know.
Understood. Yeah.
So this is where I tend to say that
Mhm.
that comment may not be so justified.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you for this wonderful answer, actually,
Yeah.
because I've been hearing this constantly. Yeah. That's why.
Art is a voice. Yeah.
Yes,
Art is a voice.
yes.
itself.
Art is a
Yeah.
voice by itself.
Mhm.
In many years from now,
Mhm.
if you want to assess the state of health
Mhm.
of any culture or civilization, is actually
Mhm.
in the arts, not just films and music,
Yeah.
but
Correct.
it's in literature too. You see, I mean,
Mhm.
why is Shakespeare still relevant today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Largely
The
relevant.
entire thing of how the Dark Ages were,
Yes.
and then the Renaissance,
Correct.
which revitalized
That's
art,
right.
Mm.
as well as pushed against
Yes.
church dogma,
Yes.
Mm.
stuff like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about music now, we talk about rock music, but
Mhm.
don't forget the best of Chopin, Beethoven,
Mm.
and Mozart all came from a time when music was supposed to be for the elite, right?
So there's a classism that happens.
Yeah,
in
that's
the-
right.
Yeah,
But
right.
but then later, at the end of the 19th century and all that,
Mhm.
when records were created, you see,
Mhm.
somebody had to invent the tape.
Yeah.
Then music was democratized.
Right.
Everybody can now listen. So you
Yeah.
see, this is the story of the world, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think that's really a great way to put it, like all this together, because
Yeah.
I think I hope the listeners out there would have understood what it exactly means to be in the art field, as what
Yeah.
Dato Kamil mentioned. Yeah. And also, sir, just want to ask you, if you had to describe this Malaysian film industry right now, just in 3 words maybe, right? So honest ones, yeah, not PR ones, sir.
Mhm.
So what would they be, sir? Actually.
I would say that the enthusiasm and the support is there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just that the environment is not yet matured enough
Mm-hmm.
to be able to see thematic development of the kind of films that we can make.
Understood, sir.
The thematic here, I'm talking about
Mhm.
stories, and it has a lot to do not just from the filmmaker side,
Mm-hmm.
but also from the audience, how ready we are to accept certain things.
Yeah.
And this is a very complex issue
Mhm.
because there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example,
Mhm.
if you take some of the world's best films,
Okay.
or at least the critics have actually classified them as the best film
Yeah.
ever made.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you take from Japan, like Tokyo Story,
All right.
they call it Tokyo Monogatari or something.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the director was Ozu,
Uh-huh.
and then you also have Kurosawa,
Kurosawa, yeah.
with his Seven Samurai,
Yeah.
and in
Rat-
India you have Satyajit
Satyajit
Ray
Ray, yeah.
and Ritwik Gata
Mhm.
and Shyam Benegal.
Mm-hmm.
In US, of course, you got plenty,
Plenty,
right?
yeah.
John Ford.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, with all these people surrounding the area,
Mhm.
one thing is that their society evolved,
Mhm.
moved from, how shall we say it, humble beginnings,
Mhm.
simple stories for entertainment, and then later, in line with society,
Mhm.
changes in the society, like in the US.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because of the Vietnam War,
Right.
they wanted to protest the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
The film industry was also affected.
Yeah.
That was how the big transition between the multi-million dollar
Mm-hmm.
big budget productions into smaller independent films like Easy Rider.
Wow.
I mean, if anyone wants to check out,
Mhm.
yes, you can check this. I think Google this up.
Mm-hmm.
Films like Cleopatra and all that were all multi-million dollars.
Understood, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
and but the audience were
Mhm.
people who were not very happy with the war
Mm-hmm.
and the racial issues.
Yeah,
Remember? There was,
discriminations and stuff. Yeah,
discrimination
right. Uh-huh.
between the
Yeah.
American African Americans and the white guys.
Mm-hmm.
So all this finally got reflected in the kind of movies and the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just movies, it's the
Yeah.
music.
Got
The
it.
culture bleeds into the art.
That's right, it
Yeah.
bleeds. And this is why the film that actually broke the back of the studios
Mhm.
was a small little film about two guys
Mm-hmm.
who went on a motorcycle ride around the United States.
Cool.
That film was called Easy Rider.
Easy Rider.
Easy
Yeah.
Rider.
Yes, Dennis
Mhm.
Hopper and Peter Fonda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the key thing about the film also was that instead of using hefty classical
Mhm.
music score,
Mm-hmm.
they just used the rock music,
Rock music.
of that time.
Wow. Okay.
So it introduced, the soundtrack was basically
Yeah.
rock music of that
Yeah.
time. So it was a good combination,
Mhm.
and it caught onto the audience.
Yeah.
Then after that, another film came along called The Graduate
Mm-hmm.
Graduate.
with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Again,
right.
it reflects the story. Now,
Mm-hmm.
imagine in Malaysia, if we were to make a film along those lines,
Mm-hmm.
where do you think the film should be anchored around?
Multicultural.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sepet,
Diversity
I would say
that we
correct.
have in
One of my
it.
favorite Malaysian
So
films,
that's
Sepet.
what we meant earlier when
Yeah.
we said there are attempts made,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not enough to say that Yasmin's films.
That's the Malaysian new movement
yes.
that came in. Yeah.
Yes, but it will not get the 100 million that Mat Kilau got.
Yeah.
It will not get the 40
Kilau.
odd million that few other films get,
Yeah.
right?
Since
So-
you've mentioned Mad Killer rights, I mean that's a very debatable thing that has been going on. And since I'm a film student, right, so we
Mhm.
discuss this in class and stuff. So like, why do you think like films like Mad Killer, which is not exactly fact right as well, like the portrayals and stuff, right? That's
Mhm.
been a bit of controversial stuff that's been going on around the film as well.
Mhm.
So why do you think like these kind of films could collect 100 million, whereas films like Sepet or even Tiger Stripes or Menteka Terbang has been
Alright.
going through like the censorship issues and this kind of stuff, right? So why do you think this really happening in Malaysia at this point of time?
Well, one thing about cinema is that it's all a matter of timing sometimes.
Okay.
Timing. It's not about, a calculate. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
most executives, most investors would like to sort of plan.
Mm-hmm.
But cinema, just like music,
Mm-hmm.
why Gangnam Style suddenly,
It
rocked
really
the world.
boosted, yeah.
It's
about
all about
timing.
timing.
Yeah.
It's all about timing, and it must be the right place at the right time. So Mat Kilau came out at the right place at the right time.
When
Got it.
political
Right.
turmoil.
Yes, with all the turmoil, and maybe people just need a film like that to feel good. Maybe.
Feel like their
But
opinion
along
is-
the way, we can question the historical accuracy or whatever. But really, it is a movie at the end of the day,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So it happened the timing was good, and I think everybody felt that it meant something. Remember, a film is about what it means to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like what Braveheart meant for the people of Scotland.
Got it,
Right?
sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it's that sort of thing. So I think it's just the timing. But I have always maintained that Mat Kilau is a one-off.
Understood.
It will happen only once, maybe every 4 or 5 years when the timing is correct.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's a good or bad film, it depends on
depends,
how
yeah.
one should see it. The way I see it is a missed opportunity.
Why?
It's a missed opportunity because we could have made it more accurate and in line with the historical.
Yeah.
Because in the British Museum, there are a lot of transcripts
Okay.
on British Malaya at that time.
And
And Mat Kilau was a prominent figure. Remember, we are talking about someone who actually lived.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's a legacy though.
It's a
Like,
legacy,
yeah,
yes. So I think it's just a matter of choice whether you want to make it a total creative license or you want to just use the character which actually live, and then you, how shall we say it, you clothe the whole biography, the history of this man with a creative license.
Right. got
Right?
it.
I must admit, even Braveheart itself is not 100% accurate, but I feel 70% of what is in Braveheart is correct
Yeah.
in terms of the battles, in terms of the skirmishes between the English armies and the Scottish armies, and the figureheads, the royalty and all that. So when I say a missed opportunity, if Mat Kilau had tweaked up a bit and make it a little bit more historically accurate,
Okay.
even up to 70%, I think it would have been something that we could actually share with the rest of the world.
Yeah. I think it could have resonated with the people like more indeed. Like it's
yes,
like
yes.
historically accurate.
Correct.
accurate, yeah.
But I believe that it wasn't intended to be that way.
Yeah.
It was
understood.
just intended to be a domestic thing.
It's a propaganda film.
They were lucky.
In a way.
Yes, the evidence that I have is that look at their sequel. That was not a box office success.
Oh, I didn't even know there was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I'm hearing it for the first time.
Right
as well.
after
Yeah.
Mat Kilau, the very
Okay.
same producers made another film. I forgot the title, but it's not a sequel about Mat Kilau. It's from the same era. It didn't succeed.
They were trying to spark off a cinematic universe.
Yes, that's right. But that's only because it came in about a year and a half after the Mat Kilau. So you see, it's all about the people again. Audience have changed.
Understood.
So most of the people there by that time would have gone to Imagino. Well, I'm not sure whether Imaginora is about the same time,
Okay.
but the independent films. And then the other big one at that time was I think Munafik.
Yeah, Munafik. Yeah.
Right. So the audience simply changed.
I think they evolve as it goes. isn't it?
The Malaysian audience, one thing, my comment about the film industry here is that I've always advised all filmmakers, when you make film, stop segmenting your film into the ethnic groups.
Yeah, I agree.
We should be making films that everybody should go to.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very good that we see people like Tengku Mona, who's a Malay, directing a completely Cantonese film called Rain Town.
Yeah.
Yes?
And that film has been critically acclaimed,
Yes,
like
that's
all over
right.
the world actually.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then Seng Tat did Lelaki Harapan Dunia.
Yeah.
Yes, and now I think, I'm not sure about from the Indian community, but I think I haven't seen any film
Alright.
fully yet,
Okay.
but I think that is one of the challenges we have right now.
Correct.
Not specific, like somebody from Sabahan, Sarawakian,
Correct.
try and do,
Yeah.
because
I
there's a
think
very high integrative aspects when you're making a film. Imagine,
Understood, sir. Yeah.
I think for Tengku Mona, by making all Cantonese film Rain Town, can you imagine the enrichment that she's got? Right? Just like Seng Tat, right?
Yeah.
So you see, I've always maintained that the unifying factor for Malaysia has always been the film.
Yep, I agree.
It is through film that you could be
Like-
daring to, to address some of our problems and take the bull by its horns.
Yep.
Yeah.
A big point I keep seeing repeated is that Malaysian film industry is in its infancy right now, compared to like a lot of different cultures where it has been established, commercialized, and then suddenly made into a new wave where
Yes.
it becomes more culturally inept.
Correct.
Malaysia seems to still be in the early stages of that
Right.
development.
That's because the biggest disease is the fact that 80-90% all are thinking about making money.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't blame them, right?
Okay.
But because the government is also supporting, that's why I was unpopular during my stint before.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I think I understand where you're coming
that's
from.
just,
Yeah.
that's just my assumption. No one
Right.
has come up to me and told me I was unpopular or I was not correct. But it's something like this. The government's role, I wanted the funding to go into the films which normally nobody would want to invest,
Understood.
but which has qualities that will make somebody in Tierra del Fuego or in Finland watch it.
I think that's the thing. Like even like I think films like Machai, right, from
Yeah.
Sanjay Perman.
Right.
It really did well as far as I've known. It really did well all around the world with different festivals and
Correct.
stuff, even Rotterdam's
Correct.
and all.
Yes.
But in Malaysia, when it was theatrically released, it was a
Well, same thing with
yeah,
Tiger.
wasn't really
Same
well,
thing
yeah.
with Tiger Stripes.
yeah, Tiger Stripes as well, and
same thing.
Mentega Terbang
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
If I take Tiger Stripes as an example, how many Malaysian films have won the Critics' Prize at Cannes?
Exactly, sir.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but Malaysia wasn't having, rave parties to celebrate Tiger Stripes getting the prize of that.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, here, I'm not making fun of people. It's just that I'm saying that is the way that you approach these kind of things.
Understood, sir.
Malaysian, the other thing is very good when it comes to sports. Everybody get together. You would cheer for the football team, the badminton team, and all that. See, it's all a matter of priorities.
Yeah.
But we haven't got the same kind of enthusiasm and the same kind of dynamics for arts.
Arts. Yeah, I agree,
Yeah.
sir.
Now, we are still not really celebrating the wonderful, admirable works of our artists, of our musicians. Yeah. And I don't forget, P. Ramlee died penniless.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, the moment you were
Right.
mentioning P. Ramlee just now, that really struck my mind.
Right.
Like, yeah.
60, I saw somewhere, 66 films he made,
Yeah.
250 songs he composed, and winning awards all over as best actor and all that.
And not
And
penny
he
to his
died
name.
penniless. They
Understood.
didn't really have money to pay for his burial. Now, that is what I've always tried to advocate, to just say, especially to the government side, that when we are trying to build this industry, this is that factor that we must take into account.
Right.
That it's not just P. Ramlee. How many hundreds of other P. Ramlees that are out waiting
Yeah.
now,
Yep.
that are not being paid attention to? Why? Because bureaucracy prevents them from being known.
Wow.
And even if you make a good film, right, you can see that there's already a distinction between one type of films that will be supported officially and another group that will not be supported. And not because it's deliberate. It's just that the system will only be looking at the ROI of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where is the ROI on? Well, I suppose I have a word for it. I suppose it's copyrighted in a way because I've used it many times.
Okay.
I call it a return on cultural investment.
ROCI. Right.
ROCI.
Yes. Why do I use cultural investment? Because if you were to put in 100,000 ringgit for someone to write a book about, especially let's say for most of us can trace back to our ethnic origins. My great grandfather, like I'm a mama, so meaning Penang is my sort of right.
I'm from Penang.
Yes. So
I love
if I
nasi
want to
kandar.
write a book now, if I want to write a book on the history of nasi kandar,
Okay.
you know very well that if I go round, maybe people may not be interested. But if somewhere in the government circle where you see this as a cultural importance.
Mhm.
I mean, the
Yeah.
subject is of cultural importance
Mhm.
because the story of Nasi Kandar actually reflects the story of Malaysia itself.
Understood.
It'll be pushed.
Yes, then that's where the government funding should go to.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's not going there.
Are they doing that now?
Well, I think to some extent is yes, but one thing about the government system is that it all depends on the people who are there.
Mm.
You know, there's a big difference between policies and the people who are there.
Mhm.
And one
Mm.
thing which I've noticed, and I think I can say this because I'm already at the senior citizen
Mhm.
era now,
Mhm.
is something like this. We are not very clever at continuity.
Understood.
So it's always like when somebody new comes along,
Mhm.
suddenly there's this delusion of I must not take what was done before into account because I want that. So in that respect, I
Mhm.
must say now live, on air,
Yeah.
that the most commendable thing about what's happening in Finas right now
Okay.
is that the new management is continuing.
Oh.
Cool. I think that's a
Right.
great news and a great improvement, I
Yes.
believe.
So the
yeah.
new chairman, Dato Hans and Dato Azmer, who are now,
Okay.
and why? Because we were all involved in that struggle earlier.
Cool. I think Dato has answered like this question, like since like to get into the bigger question, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, I was about to ask this earlier. Like when you look at the current Malaysian film funding ecosystem,
Mhm.
right? Like Finas, Tabung Film Malaysia, or
Mm.
like there are various grants that's been provided. Like, is it actually working, or is it like well intentioned but structurally broken? Do you think, like, since you've answered that partially, yeah?
I believe like what we have actually been like what we have developed before,
Mhm.
and which the current management is continuing now. It has its direction setting.
Mhm.
It's no longer playing darts in the dark room
I understood.
where whether you hit bullseye is a matter of luck.
Right.
They are really doing their best right now to follow a path which is
What worked before?
yes, what worked before,
Mhm.
and especially if you ask me personally, what worked for animation. Because
Mm.
remember, before I went to Finas, I was with MDEC.
Mhm.
So we were developing an industry called the animation and CGI at that
That's
time.
really cool. Yeah.
Yes.
War of the Worlds,
Right.
right?
Correct.
Yeah. And
War of
also
the
Upin
Worlds was one of them, and Upin and Ipin
Yeah.
and Bobo Boy and Papa Zola
Yeah.
are all the result of that strategic planning.
Cool.
Nothing happened overnight. It's not about wish lists.
Understood.
It's about a concerted effort to know where government funding was going to,
Mhm.
and how the exposure is to be implemented. By
Mhm.
exposure here is something like this. Malaysian animation companies in their infancy
Mhm.
had to do work for foreign companies and the big
Mm.
boys,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because if you are used to doing only animation for Malaysian
Products.
Malaysian demand,
Demands. Yeah.
it will forever be the same.
Mhm.
But once when you get a job from Sci-Fi Channel at that time,
Mhm.
and that happened in Multimedia University,
Oh wow, cool.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
they got a job from Sci-Fi Channel,
Okay.
and then suddenly Malaysians, and we are thankful for this,
Mhm.
are exposed to the standards required to become world class.
Cool.
Right?
I think
Was
that's
that,
where the exposure kind of
exposure,
builds.
right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Was that pre War of the Worlds Goliath?
Yes,
or
pre.
pre,
The
which is
early days.
from what I heard that day was it was a Korean studio who helped with the animation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because it's all about the learning process. You see, there is nothing wrong to learn or to copy.
All right.
And I always tell that to filmmakers, right? You want to make a film. You want to
Okay.
make a film and there's a car chase involved.
Mhm.
Why must you crack your head at Coffee Bean for, 3 hours
I know.
to try to construct the scene? Just watch French Connection
Yep. You're right.
and
Yeah.
copy it. But you see, in the act of copying,
Mhm.
you're not actually emulating.
Mhm.
You are now interpreting what you have seen.
Right.
A good example, which I could bore you with a bit, is this director called Brian De Palma.
All right.
He likes Hitchcock very much. He's a
Okay.
Hitchcock fan.
Okay.
If you notice, the first 3 films that he made
Mhm.
were all like copying directly scenes from Hitchcock films.
All right.
Yes? But by his 4th film,
Mhm.
Brian De Palma
Mhm.
comes to the fore.
So he's like putting the Hitchcock
Yes.
at the back of his
Yes,
mind.
just like when you're writing your first short story or anything, you would be basing it on you have read Tash Ao or somebody, right?
Yeah.
And all it takes is maybe 4 more efforts,
Yeah.
and suddenly it becomes your original.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's nothing wrong with that. And that is the culture that I'm trying to encourage when it comes to film students, especially. Don't worry.
I would really like to highlight that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So,
Just
yeah.
get the copying right. I mean, you don't have to worry. Like Ghost Story.
Yeah.
Okay. This is, you may laugh at this.
Okay.
Why are we making terrible horror films in Malaysia compared to Thailand and the thing? Right? Because sometimes I think we try too hard when there are things that can be copied.
I actually, this is such an eye opener. I believe, yeah.
Because I
yeah.
always assumed what was wrong was because they only know how to copy.
I think me and
Yeah.
Jet had a conversation recently about this horror story. Remember that?
Yeah,
I
how
think,
they're
yeah.
emulating
Yeah.
Hollywood. Yeah.
So,
Look, Sam Raimi made the Evil Dead.
Evil Dead series.
How old was him? Was he
Yeah.
at that time?
In his
Toby
30s.
Hooper made Texas Chainsaw Massacre
yeah.
on 16mm, and they were just having fun making the movie. And because of no budget,
Okay.
they had to compromise on many things.
Got it.
And that compromise actually created the creative juice
Understood.
to pull up and for them to actually, demonstrate
Yeah.
it.
I think the more restricted we are,
Yes.
the more creative users we might
Correct.
produce, right?
Yeah, because you are copying them without the
Limitations.
same instruments they
That's
have,
right.
Yeah.
and then you
Yes.
start compromising that, and you're creating your own art.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Jack.
choose to believe that limitations brings out the best of someone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Same thing with music.
Yeah.
The best music by Bob Dylan came out at a time when he was broke and he was having a broken heart. That's where the best songs came. I have another favorite singer called Jackson Brown.
Jackson Brown, yeah.
His first 2 albums were fantastic because it almost defined what I was going through at that time. But the minute he became famous, his albums became a little bit more what I call the upmarket Beverly Hills, Damansara Heights kind of
Okay. Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
It's a quite
I don't-
posh environment.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean,
Okay.
that's how life is all about.
Yeah.
When you are at your bottom, that's why I always tell young filmmakers, no. Even when you talk about funding, why are you talking about $1 million ringgit for your first few attempts?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Justin France who did a film called LIFE for 1,000 ringgit and using iPhones.
Yeah.
When people want to create something, they will do it. And this is where, if I can share with you what I observe as the Malaysian problem,
Okay.
maybe the problem is that the real filmmakers are not in the industry at all.
I understand. So I think like there are more businessmen over filmmakers in the industry. isn't it?
Businessmen by themselves are very important
Yeah.
for the film industry.
Mm.
But that's how it is. It's that integration between the business side and the creative side. I can bring up again Upin and Ipin. When Upin and Ipin first had its beginnings, the boss was just a businessman, a very good businessman.
Understood.
But all the people who created the team that created Upin Ipin were all graduates in animation, 3D, and all that.
Wow.
So that's perfect.
I
And
think
that's how it should be done. The problem comes when people who, well, that is my personal view. It's not intended to criticize
yeah, it's okay,
some
sir.
people.
You're welcome
Right.
to say it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome to
It's
say it,
a
yeah.
bit like this. If you don't have a passion for films, and if you are in the business only because the government is providing grants, then that's not the
Right.
playing field that we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
We want the people, just like to be fair, right?
Yeah.
If you want to write a book, I mean, who would want to write a book if not for someone who already has a passion for writing?
Yeah, people
Yeah.
who are here to tell stories,
Yes.
who want their voices out.
Correct. So
Yeah.
you want to hear a voice. So it's different from, suddenly I can write a book because the government is providing the funds for me
Fund
to
for
write
me.
the book.
Yeah.
Then you go in and then you get the thing at the expense of someone who doesn't know the
How-
application,
Yeah.
how to apply for
Yeah.
that grant and all that. Suddenly you don't get it. right?
Understood. But unfortunately, isn't that what happening? The current scenario of our industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is the scenario at this moment, which, like I told you just now, Finas is really restructuring
Okay, cool.
Okay,
the way the funding
cool.
is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you notice today in Finas, you've got co-production support.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if you already team up with somebody from Indonesia or
Mhm.
Taiwan or whatever, you can apply for that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then the other one, they have script development.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, the team before and the current team, we believe that the script is, of course, the foundation of any film.
Yeah.
So, no kidding about it. The story is right, the script is right, the film becomes right.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not about cutting corners anymore. This is if you need government funding.
Cool.
But if you can raise the money all by yourself, you
Uh-huh.
can make anything that you want, and it will not
Yeah.
be our issue.
Yeah.
We are looking about how taxpayers' money goes in. Now,
Understood.
next part is,
Mhm.
is it perfect? I think we are all developing that road to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
It is not perfect as in perfect,
Mm-hmm.
simply because this industry under Finas is already 30 years plus.
Wow.
Yes, plus.
30 years.
That is the reason why I had a better time with animation,
Mm-hmm.
because animation was new.
It was malleable.
Yes. And it involves technology. So there was any of the sensitivities doesn't revolve around what happened 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And remember, even the animation that we were developing is the
Mhm.
second wave. Animation has always been in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Film Negara has been doing the Sang Kancil story for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But that was the first wave analog
Mhm.
without the digital sort of
Yeah.
environment.
Mhm.
So what we did, didn't develop the animation industry, but we developed the second wave, the
Cool.
one that was more technology centric,
Yeah,
right?
The 3D stereoscopic too.
Correct. 3D stereoscopic. That's what War of the
War of
Worlds.
the Worlds, yeah, got it.
And
Yeah.
Along the way, we encourage co-production.
Yeah.
Like we had lots of co-production with South Korea at that
South
time,
Korea, yeah.
Wow, I think.
and also with New Zealand,
Mhm.
Australia. So what we wanted was that Malaysian companies
Mhm.
start getting jobs from all these people. So what was my job at one time? Going to Australia,
Mhm.
US, and if they are doing 14 episodes, we bring back 6 episodes.
Cool.
But we needed a report card.
Understood.
And that report card was a 30 million ringgit production called Saladin.
Saladin.
What? Oh, okay. Okay.
That was in
Uh-huh.
2009.
I've heard of
Yes.
Saladin. Yeah.
And it was a co-production with Al Jazeera Children's Channel.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Right.
I remember in Parliament here, we were asked a question.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't spend 30 million. It was 15,
Mm-hmm.
half by Malaysia and half by Qatar.
Qatar. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Al Jazeera, right?
Yeah.
So we were asked, at that price, at that cost,
Mhm.
15 million ringgit,
Mm-hmm.
what are we getting? That is where another ROI comes into play. Return on economic investment.
The actual RI.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
That was our report card to the world.
Yeah.
Oh.
If we could do that kind of 3D, guess why later Life of Pi had confidence Tiger to be made in Cyberjaya? Why later Mandalorian could come to Bangsa South?
Yeah.
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 So you see, as what any businessman would say, small money go out,
Yeah.
big,
Big money come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we were trying to do. So you see, there was a strategic, underlying plan, trust
Yeah.
behind it, which we couldn't do entirely for the film industry. Why? Because Finas was already 30 years old. It has its own, how shall we say it? Its own SOPs.
Yeah. So it
Sensitivities.
was basically ROI as in return of image.
Yes.
Yeah.
Malaysia
Yes.
became the image of.
That's right.
I think it's more like an identity of.
Yes,
Yeah, the
identity,
identity,
yes.
yeah.
And it's kind of difficult because if I were to ask you,
Mm.
Finas receives a script.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not talking about now. Now it is changing because the current management is pushing towards that direction. Let's say 10 years ago, someone comes in with a little script about a taxi driver's relationship
Mhm.
with refugee that came from Rohingya or somewhere
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
in Malaysia. And the whole 90 minutes is about discovery.
Okay.
The refugee is we can make him or her more Malaysian than Malaysian.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that old saying, if you're born a Muslim, you're not as good as someone who's just converted.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
convert would
They would
learn.
study.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
go into the thing,
The
right?
hunger. Yeah.
Right. So supposing someone were to write that script
Okay.
and you ask for funding,
Okay.
I tell you, a lot of people would just close their doors.
Mm.
But that's a very interesting concept, though.
Correct.
Like, I mean,
In
there
the
are world
West,
films in such.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what world cinema is all about. So
Yeah.
you see the dilemma we will always have at Finas. Which
Yeah.
one to push?
Then who does the
Ah,
current funding
right.
system actually?
Right. So this is why today, like I said, with this new management and also coming from, remember Dato Azmi also came from MDEC.
Yeah.
So basically, we knew and Dato Hans is very familiar also with the system. So basically, we are saying, yes, this is the time. Government should be putting money in it.
Yeah.
Because your ordinary bank will show you the exit. You go with that script that I mentioned just now. If you go to a bank, finance company, they'll just say, yeah, good, but it won't make money for me. This is where the government steps in.
Yeah, because the government wants the culture.
Yes, we want to export the culture. And this is no different from what Korea was planning in the year 2001. When we visited them in 2001, Korea had a policy, national policy called Korea Culture Content Export Policy.
Wow.
So basically, this is what they did. Our culture must be exported. And what is the best means to export our culture?
Art.
Art,
Yes,
Yeah.
films, TV
Yeah.
series,
music.
music.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing really well.
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
And I remember at that time, they were developing their K-pop their KPI
Yeah.
is something like this.
Okay.
K-pop must take over J-pop by 2006.
Wow.
Which they did.
Yes.
They did. Yeah.
But it's not just about saying it.
Yeah.
Along the way, they had programs that was mining talent time.
Mm-hmm.
The winners of talent time at
Yeah.
schools. So that's how they discovered this singer called Boa. I think you remember Rain,
Mhm.
Rain and Boa.
Yeah.
And one extra thing they did.
Mm.
Now that they have discovered all this, the marketing machinery comes in.
Wow.
That's the equivalent of our Ministry of Trade or Matrade.
Yeah.
Now packaging. In other words, don't ask why it costs $500,000 to go to France to have a concert or something.
Mhm.
That's the other problem about Malaysia.
Mhm.
You can send a film to the Academy Awards,
Okay.
but then you don't want to spend on the advertising
Oh my God.
and promotion.
yeah. Without PR and marketing, I don't
Yes.
think it's possible.
It's not that I'm sort of grinding my axe here, but it all part and parcel of that small money must
Yeah.
go out for big money to come in. And don't talk about South Korea because we know how they did it. It's all a synergy between the economic part
Yeah.
with the cultural
Yeah.
aspect.
Because I think they prioritize the cultural part more than anything else economically at
Yes,
that point of time.
Correct.
Like, yeah.
Because there is an after impact.
Yep.
After you watch a Korean film,
Mhm.
chances are you want to go your next special dinner, you want to go to eat tteokbokki
Yeah.
or something else. I mean, at a Korean restaurant.
So a lot
Okay.
of their films tend to imply their culture into it.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, their food and everything.
You're right.
So-
Almost every Korean film has an eating some scene
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they're all eating.
And it is as original as it could be,
Right.
because like everything we are seeing in a Korean film, I think it's all about their culture,
Correct.
their roots and stuff.
Right.
So it's fresh, and I think that's how it spreads all over
Right.
the world. To audience,
And you look at Malaysia, okay, I'm just for some,
Yeah.
not everyone.
Okay.
Just because they know about what Korea were doing in terms of food, suddenly you have to include an eating scene in your movie, and you know from the way that it's photographed and directed that it didn't come from the heart. It was just a token thing. If anybody wants to challenge me on this kind of observation, it comes with age, like basically.
Understood.
It doesn't come with being an expert or whatever. You know, you see a particular scene in a movie,
Alright.
and you know whether the director
Wanted it in.
wanted it or is doing it from his heart.
All right. Oh, whether it's deliberate or not, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of hard to articulate,
Yeah.
but I think just like if you are familiar with certain subject matter that you know, right?
Yeah. And then the tonal shift too.
Yes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that the tone change, or
Mm-mm.
maybe the shift in, is disjointed.
Understood.
Mm.
Yeah.
And just because, and I can tell you why, because for our grants,
Mhm.
some of our incentives, if
Mhm.
there's a cultural element,
Mhm.
you get a tick, extra grant,
Understood.
extra incentive, sorry.
Okay.
But
So that's why.
How lenient are they with the cultural label? Like,
Yes, it is quite wide. It's quite wide. Example, if you show, you have a movie,
Mhm.
and suddenly you show somebody having a local wedding,
Mhm.
and that scene is somehow integrated into the wedding.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter lah, whether it's a Malay wedding or
Okay.
Chinese wedding or even a ceremony at a temple.
Mhm, mhm.
It's okay. So that is considered cultural. You get a tick.
Oh wow, cool.
And the other one is the food.
Okay.
So you could be opening Musang King and
Yeah, I mean-
putting, that
I
kind
think
of
that's
thing.
the most simpler part, lah.
Ah,
Yeah, conversation
right.
scene and.
And then the third is
I
something
think-
cultural, like if you go to one of the, like Yap Aloy Museum
Mm.
or Yap Asyang, that kind of heritage care. That's I think.
I honestly believe that we need more of Dato Kamil Othman in the industry at this point of time,
Yeah.
because that's really great and fresh to hear, like this kind of points, and how to say, it's very a necessary points and subject that matters for the upcoming
Right.
filmmakers, I believe.
Well,
right?
some
But,
describe
yeah.
it as
Yeah.
necessary evil, because
I mean, sometimes it's okay
no,
to be able to get the
yeah.
best out of it.
okay, I'm being realistic here,
Okay.
especially now.
Mm.
There are people who dislike me for no reason
Mhm.
other than they have a reason,
Okay.
but most are perception.
Mhm.
You see, when you are trying to transform an industry,
All right.
there's always what do you call it? There's always a collateral,
Yeah, collateral
Damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
People
that
don't like change
collateral
too.
damage will affect those
Mhm.
who have been too comfortable over the years.
I understood.
Yeah.
Sir.
Those
So
who are
because
afraid
they
of
can't.
change.
Yeah,
Yes,
I agree with Jet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jet,
Yeah.
you said it right.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Mm.
when I do changes,
Mhm.
it's a bit like saying I have to do it
Yeah.
because the path, the
The-
direction
yeah.
that we want can only
Yeah.
be achieved if
If you change.
change certain
And they
things-
feel that you're sabotaging.
right. Just to give you an example,
Yeah.
example which I can share.
Okay.
Finas will give grants for certain films.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
The minute when the film is not a box office success,
Okay.
as an accountant,
Okay. All right.
and because I have this itchy internal auditor thinking,
Yeah. All right. Got it.
I always like to find out why we put, example,
Mm-hmm.
100,000 in the movie
Mm-hmm.
or 200,000, and yet the collection was only 24,000 ringgit.
Whoa.
This is terrible. This is ROI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terrible ROI. And I would have wanted
Mm-hmm.
the auditing to be done to find out why.
Okay.
Because it's not necessarily is a badly made film.
Okay.
It could be advertising and promotion was not,
Not right.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or maybe the timing was not right.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly,
Mm-hmm.
how to maximize their box office collection.
Correct.
You see, when we report back to the government,
Mhm.
we're only giving box office numbers for the
Mhm.
films as they have collected money
Mhm.
in local cinemas.
Mm.
Cool.
We have never captured the
The
exports.
Exports, yeah.
So that's why we have always been under-reporting to the government.
Understood.
That
Some film, because there's no obligation to report back. You see,
Yeah.
everything is online, right?
Yeah.
So one film gets released tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
right? We will know how much it has collected, but in Malaysia.
Okay.
Mm.
See? Because tax, there's entertainment tax involved and all that.
Yeah.
But we are giving the impression to the Ministry of Finance that
Mhm.
films are not making money. I personally believe that that is not correct because we have been under-reporting.
Yep.
Yeah, especially the exports. I think
Yes.
that's so
When
important.
you sell to Netflix,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah.
It's a
that's one.
great. Yeah.
What happened if you had dubbed it into Russian and sent it to Kazakhstan Azerbaijan and all that.
Yeah.
So you see, that is where I wanted to bring FINAS into.
Understood.
That we are the watchdog for the government. That's number one.
Okay.
To be able to say that films are making money,
Yeah.
but we are now defining it in a very domestic way,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what we know.
I
100
think-
million.
I think recently what Blood Brothers did was really astonishing,
Hmm.
like in terms of businesses.
That's right.
Like, yeah.
And I do know that Scope Production is making a huge effort right now to export.
Okay.
Fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
You know,
So until now, just saying Disney Plus, Netflix, all of that, because they're exports, they are not calculated into.
Mhm.
yes,
the
if you
reports.
are the producer, because, well, I mean, currently the system, I don't know whether they're changing it now,
Okay.
but that was what I was trying to do.
Okay. So this might be sensitive, like
Mhm.
the question that I'm about to ask. Do you really think this is because based on the scenario that Sir just explained, right? Like it could be corruption, or it could be like they are not aware or lack of knowledge, maybe. So
Right.
where do you think this falls into?
If you ask me,
yeah.
because although we can speculate and suspect,
Okay.
but I think this is the real reason,
Mhm.
because this is maybe is a reasonable reason
Mm-hmm.
in my personal view.
Okay.
Our challenge is that most industries,
Mhm.
industries,
Mm-hmm.
the producer or the manufacturer makes
Mhm.
money out
Mhm.
of the product.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For our film industry, most are making the money out of the production.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Two different things, eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying right or wrong.
Okay.
You see, for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
when you make a film,
Mm-hmm.
funding, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need the money for what,
Exactly.
right? You need to pay your crew and all that.
The crew, the DOP,
The
editor,
DOP, and
Yeah.
maybe you need to
The equipment.
rent the equipment.
I think the
set
technical part
studio.
of it.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
correct.
costume.
Yeah.
So that is what that money should be used for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So no one is making income
Mhm.
except for that DOP, because you are hiring him.
Correct.
So now I bring to the other fundamental questions.
Mm-hmm.
Other than a few companies,
Mm-hmm.
most Malaysians, we are deprived of innovative and productive producers.
Understood.
Because at the end of the day, who's the boss of any film shoot? The
Producer.
producer.
Yeah.
Upin Ipin is successful because the producer
Mhm.
knows how to generate the income.
He was smart about
Right.
it.
Right.
He didn't allow his animators to do the business part, because the job of the animator and the creative guy is just to keep on producing the creative outputs.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
does the business. That is what we are missing in its, how shall we say it, holistically in the film industry. We don't have enough of that. We have a lot of good producers, but again, not enough.
Cool.
How shall I put it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about waiting for the next round of tender. RTM won something, FINAS has grant,
Okay.
everybody is rushing.
Yeah.
The real producer, if you ask me, is somebody like, for in the case of Tiger Stripes, that has been funded by 7 countries.
Wow.
Yes?
Wow. Yeah.
You can ask Sanjay also. I think
Yeah.
part of his costing
Yep.
could get from Rotterdam
Mhm.
film funds and all this kind of
Alright.
sources.
Yeah.
But you need a good producer.
I think they pitch everywhere.
Right.
Tiger Stripes.
Correct.
Before, like getting the
Tiger Stripes went to Berlinale
Yeah.
first, and then later Rotterdam, because
Yeah.
they also operate on the network.
Mhm.
So if you go and pitch in Busan,
Mhm.
you are pitching to people who know people in Rotterdam, in
Yeah. The connection.
Sundance,
Yeah.
and places like that.
Mhm.
That is the world we're talking in.
Network.
But again, I bring up this very boring aspect.
No. sir.
What kind of films are we talking when we talk about Rotterdam, Berlinale, and
Wow.
Busan?
Got
Is
it.
the film about a taxi driver who has a good relationship with a
Yeah.
Rohingya refugee,
Mhm.
which nobody wants to fund here.
Yeah. Malaysian
Mm.
films were actually
Yes.
about Malaysia.
Correct.
Yeah.
What was Tiger Stripes about? It's about an awakening, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but still it was misunderstood here.
Mm-hmm.
Censorship, I see it as another story on its own.
Okay.
FINAS doesn't have control.
We don't have control. Most
Okay.
people think if FINAS who does the censorship wrong. It's not. It's another body, but that is another issue. They have their own thing. But the point was,
Mm-hmm.
films with themes like that like the funding may be very difficult to secure.
Understood.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted FINAS to be in that role.
Right.
And the other thing that we wanted to do, also pertaining to funding, was to make full use of the tax incentive.
Tax
Uh-huh.
incentive?
Tax incentive. It simply means like this. You have a script. Remember, we have a problem about a lot of scripts that couldn't go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you have a script. FINAS reads the script
Mm-hmm.
and say that, yes, there is potential in this story about maybe a broken marriage, or some of the social problems today, or domestic violence, right? Very important issues that we think Malaysians should be. But we know very well that these are sensitive topics and very difficult to get funding and so on.
Yeah.
So FINAS gives more or less like a tax exemption certificate, because we are government.
Yeah.
The minute you get that tax certificate,
Mm-hmm.
you can go to anyone who wants to invest in your movie, and they get tax exemption twice the amount they
Oh.
put in.
Wow.
You know what will that do? That will open up YTL, Sunway, or will start investing,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But before they invest, they will not do it blindly, right?
Yeah.
What do they do to the person who's asking for the money?
I think they kind of take over, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
They want
take
to
in charge
know-
of. Yeah.
I mean, they may not interfere creatively,
Yeah.
but certainly they will ask you about that ROI part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be dominant on that part. I
Yes,
guess.
ROI and maybe a little bit of the ROCI,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, the recent film called Mother Bhumi.
Oh yeah, Mother
Yeah,
Bhumi,
it
it's
was
been run.
funded by Bujaya Group.
Okay.
So do you honestly think that with a film like that,
Mm-hmm.
even the audience that night was confused? It is not a film like Blood Brothers type of dynamics.
Adrenaline kind.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Like you can see A to B.
Yeah.
I
It challenges
describe the film as I went to a museum,
Mm-hmm.
a well curated museum with a lot of artifacts
Mm-hmm.
coming from Malaysian history,
Oh wow.
right?
Okay. Okay.
And I left the museum feeling very spiritually enriched,
you.
Wow.
right?
I think
New
I
connectivity to the
Yeah.
culture. Yeah.
So, in those sort of circumstances, are you saying that the film is, amazing or whatever? Because to another person,
Mhm.
maybe even my wife,
Mhm.
who watched the film,
Mm-hmm.
she said, "Alamak, I don't know what the story is really all about." You see, again, it comes to the individual.
Correct.
So this is why, like Mother Bhumi was fortunate, because the director had a good track record, right?
All right.
He thought he could go to Rotterdam or
Mhm.
wherever and get it.
I didn't get the opportunity to catch the film yet. Yeah.
That's why at that time we wanted, and I think FINAS still wants it today under the current management,
Mm-hmm.
to create that kind of environment where funding is not just from FINAS.
Understood, sir.
Yeah.
That's why we go to Yogyakarta, right, for the script lab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea was to try and get the money elsewhere.
Got it.
And FINAS is no longer the first money. I mean, for want of a better summary, we are like a bit like the last money.
The last
Understood.
one.
That means you get all from. I mean, if you have been accredited or you have been endorsed by Busan,
Mm-hmm.
why should I ask again whether your project has merit or not?
Yeah.
You can trust them.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're only short of, let's say, 200,000, 300,000.
Okay.
That's where FINAS comes in, because we give grants.
Yeah.
Understood.
We don't give loans.
So yeah, sir. Talking about the grants, right?
Mhm.
I think there's a common complaint that Malaysian film grants favor safe, commercial, or maybe the politically palatable projects, I guess. So is that a fair critique, or if
It
yes,
is.
then what's the fix?
It is, okay. Like we said, I mean, we can't sort of speculate too much, because there are no hard evidence. But you can actually see where the loose ends are.
Mm-hmm.
One loose end is, I mentioned earlier, is about the way that we approach the kind of stories that we would like to support, right? And we have some constraints in terms of the submissions that is being received. Here I have to bring in what I call the animal farm concept.
How does that work, sir?
It means that for every independent filmmaker who complains about FINAS rejecting their works, I would always mention that, I read your script. You are too direct. What's wrong with being direct? You ask George Orwell. He wanted to be direct about many things. Then he wrote something called Animal Farm, which is really about the same thing, except he's using sheep, pigs, cows, and chicken. The story is the same. The message is the same. Then I would say that's what creativity is all about. Creativity is about circumventing it in a way which do not actually poke fun, but give out the same message. Okay, I give you a good example to film students who wanted to do daring subjects.
Right.
I say watch Russian cinema.
Right.
Watch.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's a
guerrilla
film.
filmmaking.
Yeah, I mean that's one. And
Subject.
the literary, the subject matter. Okay, there's a film called Hard to Be a God.
Hard to be a god.
Yes,
Right.
by the Strugatsky brothers. This is the book. It was based on a science fiction book.
Take note, dear listeners. Yeah.
Now, what was the film about?
Mm-hmm.
The writers simply want to say something about Russia at the time they were there. That the administration was not really sort of progressing well.
Okay.
So they made up a story, and this was the film.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists on Earth discovered a new planet.
Oh, okay.
That planet was Earth 400 years ago.
All right.
It is at that state of civilization.
Okay.
We are today, they are 400 years behind us,
Okay.
or maybe 500 years.
Right.
So Earth astronauts, scientists were told, go to that planet, just observe, but do not expedite the technology or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
In other words, you go there pretending as if, if
You're a
people go
god.
to a toilet that doesn't have running water, you just
Go with the flow.
go with the flow,
All right.
experience it.
Yeah.
What was the story really about? They were making a comment that new planet is what Russia is their view of Russia. But the Russian censors didn't see it that way, because this, within the realm of science fiction, it's about another planet. This is what I always tell to film students, especially the
Agreed.
young ones. You want to be angry.
Yeah.
You can be angry, but you must take into account the situation.
Mm-hmm.
That was how German expressionist cinema
Yes.
came out.
Yeah.
German
Even
expressionist
Iranian
cinema,
films as
correct.
well. Yeah.
Iranian films.
Yeah.
You want to say something, the creative part of you is the one that must tell you, okay, just look at
Be
the
subtle.
Hindi films, the Bollywood films,
Yeah.
or even the Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
What do they do when they want to show a love scene?
There's gonna be a lot
always
of songs.
coconuts,
Yeah.
always coconuts under a coconut tree,
Yeah.
and then
Flowers all over.
flowers all over. And then the climax would be the beach, the waves coming in,
Yeah.
and you can see all the frothy,
Agree.
yes, right,
Yeah.
yes,
I wasn't aware of that. But
I mean, it's very dramatic though.
yeah. But this is what creativity is all about.
Okay.
So it's not about a knife going into the body and until blood spills
Yeah.
over.
Mm.
Watch Alfred Hitchcock Psycho.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That shower scene
Yep.
is the classic film student reference
Agreed.
for wanting to make the audience think
Yes.
they have seen more than what was actually shown.
Understood.
Who was the other person that took that on board? Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
And another person too.
Who is that?
His name was Toby Hooper.
Oh, okay. All right.
For Texas Chainsaw Massacre #1,
Okay.
how much violence is there? Now you've got your Blu-ray or DVD. You go and watch it again and pause.
it's implied violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the chainsaw was raised up,
Okay.
he was using sound. Because remember, those guys didn't have money.
Correct.
They had
Understood.
budget problems.
Understood.
Yeah.
So how do you become creative when you have budget problems?
Mm-hmm.
That's where editing comes in,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. Yeah.
Play with the perception and
Yes.
the sensation.
And
Yeah.
that perception is crafted because your cameraman is being told,
Mhm.
do this medium close up or use, hands or movements.
Yeah.
The classic scene in Texas Chainsaw is when they were knocking on the door,
Mhm.
nothing happened, the door opened, then Leatherface came out, whacked the girl
Yeah.
and brought her in.
Mhm.
Before she was even put on the mid hook,
Mhm.
camera lingers, long shot or medium shot
Medium, yeah.
of the hook, the mid hook.
Right.
But
So-
while that mid hook, right, the blurring effect,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you put the mid hook in sharp focus,
Okay.
and the front scene become blur.
Okay.
Then you blur the
Hook.
the hook and scene, and
Yeah.
then all Leatherface had to do was to put the girl there,
Yeah.
and everybody was gasping in the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the greatest trick that ever been
Yes.
pulled by Toby Hooper. I guess
Right.
like one particular scene.
Correct,
Yeah.
because they had no money. Again, I mean, I stress they had no money. Easy Rider, very limited budget,
Okay.
so they couldn't afford a studio. What did they do?
Mhm.
The whole American countryside becomes the the set,
So
right?
Yeah, I think the lesson is implication.
Yes.
We can do topics that will get
Yes.
censored, but we can imply.
Imply.
Yeah.
Yes, imply, because imply, it means that only those who know.
Yeah. With the violence, it's implied.
Correct.
Yeah.
And likewise, I would like to say also something about, because I'm also handling AI. Well, not handling lah.
All right.
I'm also doing a little subject matter interest study on AI.
Hmm.
AI arrives from that term which we used to call deep fake.
Yup.
Yeah.
Deepfake,
And the
yeah.
original deep fakery
Yeah.
has always been the cinema.
Yeah, I
And
mean-
they used to describe it as suspension of disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
You watch like Superman flying,
Yeah.
even from those early days. So anyway, that's just a side matter.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point as well.
Mm.
Like, yeah.
Yes, the original deep fake
Yeah.
is cinema.
Yeah.
So no need to be too academic about it. Cinema
Mhm.
has been bluffing the world
Yeah.
for 100 ever since it was invented.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. But so also talking about like, I mean, since you've mentioned about how we can like trick the audience by getting like, kind of like minimize the budget and stuff, right?
Mhm.
So like for a young filmmaker, like maybe they might be sitting in this audience right now who's been
Yes.
listening to us, right? Yeah. What is the realistic path to getting a film funded in Malaysia today? I mean, like, can you like walk us through it practically rather than theoretically? Yeah.
Okay, currently right now, because FINAS has a script development fund,
Okay.
I think that's where they should be aiming.
Mhm.
But the other thing which is also very important is that they should be looking at the social media.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There are plenty of countries that are offering funds.
Mhm.
Short films is the way to go first.
All right.
Stop thinking about feature length.
Right.
Even if you think about the feature length,
Mhm.
try to think of the feature length in terms of the short film.
Mhm.
And this is not surprising.
Mhm.
Real life, you know what happened, right? THX 1138, George Lucas,
Mhm.
was a short film first.
Oh, all right.
Then he expanded it.
Okay.
And then there was another group of people, I can't remember, they made a film about a spaceship
Mhm.
called Dark Star. That began as a short film.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whiplash too.
Whiplash, the
Yeah.
drummer, right?
Yeah.
The drummer, yes. It
Also
began
bas-
as a short film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, why short films? And that is the other thing, the good thing about continuity in FINAS today,
Mm-hmm.
the focus on short films.
All right.
Because we believe that short films will allow you
Mm-hmm.
to now have a CV
Right. It's a
to
portfolio.
apply for Busan Film Fund,
Wow.
to apply for Berlinale. You see, whenever you ask for funding, what's the
Mhm.
first thing people ask you? Not the storyboard.
Yeah.
What have you made?
Your experience. Yeah.
Mm.
Here I would bore you also a bit
Yeah.
with what we were trying to do at MDEC and FINAS.
Yeah.
We wanted graduates to get involved in film productions or animation projects,
Mhm.
even for 5 seconds, 10 seconds also, it doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
because you can put it on your CV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
Life of Pi,
Okay.
Rhythm and Hues, Cyberjaya.
Okay.
There were people who were involved with it for hours, so rightly so they could put there on their CV for motion graphics or wireframing or whatever.
Okay.
But there are also people who were there who were just for maybe they did a half an hour job on maybe just rigging or what they call it
Mocapping?
to even mocap,
Mhm.
motion capture, or even erasing out the strings.
Okay. Okay.
Right? In a mocap,
Uh-huh.
well, not mocap, I mean, generally, all these little,
Yeah.
what you call it? They
Masking
were
and all.
Masking
Yeah.
and all that.
Mm.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're only hired for about 30 minutes work.
Okay.
But you can already put it on your CV.
And it's like Life of Pi on your
Yes.
CV. That's great.
That
Yeah.
is what this industry is about. And
Yeah.
here I will touch a bit,
Mhm.
without going too much into the education side of thing.
Okay.
This industry
Mm-hmm.
is a track record industry.
Okay.
Okay.
It is not about a master's
Mm-hmm.
or you have a degree in film,
Right.
film theology,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, if you want to go for that. But the real ground level situation is that
It's about
if
your work.
if I am a production company or
Mm.
I am a line producer,
Okay.
if I want to hire you,
Mm-hmm.
I would just ask, hey, how many films have you made? Or how many films you were involved in, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's why it has always been that idea, that concept. We're bringing a lot of international productions here.
Yeah.
So how many people in Malaysia right now can say that they work on Mandalorian? See? It's all
Makes
Bangsa
sense,
South.
yeah.
So you see, everything was not done for the heck of it.
Yeah.
There is a connection. If you train these people, if they are graduates coming out from Sunway or MMU,
yeah.
Lim Kok Wing,
Yeah.
yes, they must have a pathway.
Mm-hmm.
And that pathway for this industry is not really about making your own film. It's about, I have been involved
Yeah.
in Space 1999
Yeah.
or
Like
the last Assassin's Creed film. I provided the noise, the sound, the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep. That's all. So the education system should also be revamped
Mhm.
in the sense that we go by what is half Tibet. Theory is theory,
Mm-hmm.
but there's nothing like investment in a production by the government is investment in training. Because that's what we do last time for animation. You want the government money,
Mm-hmm.
you must take 5 final year students who are doing motion graphics
Mhm.
or you are doing mocap or some of the other specific works,
All right.
including compositing
Uh-huh.
and that kind of stuff.
Right.
We have the right. You want our money, you follow our. And if anyone were to watch a movie today and stay right at the end,
Mhm.
you can see how many people can be employed
Got it.
when it comes to the movie.
Yeah,
So that's why I always encourage more people who are involved in policy,
Mm-hmm.
don't leave the cinema
After the film.
when the lights are on or when the film ends. Stay right until the end.
Watch the credits.
Yes, watch the credits because every new film will have a new job title there.
Mm-hmm.
And most of all, it also tells you which countries they have outsourced the jobs to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Just by the names.
Yeah.
India.
Mm-hmm.
Every time there's a Marvel film, you see how many Indian names there? Because they outsource that whole process to a company, Reliance or wherever,
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
Chennai or wherever.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
I actually have a question because just now you mentioned about how private investment usually are because of tax incentives,
Yes.
right? Without the tax incentives, why do private investments not get excited to fund films? Like, what do you think is the main problem that stops them from even thinking about it in the first place?
I think that's because track record wise, there are very few films in Malaysia that make it at the global stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You need something like very big. I mean, like I said, Mat Kilau is a good example for domestic purposes.
Yeah.
But, globally, it will not have any impact,
Yeah.
right? So even Blood Brothers, which is also good. But remember, even in Indonesia, it's a tough situation because Indonesians are also making films like Red Redemption
Yeah.
and all this action.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I've been impressed with how Indonesian film industry has been evolved. Like at this point of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So, your question, kan, Jet? Is
Jet,
kan?
Yeah, Jet.
Jet
Yeah.
from Sunway Film
Right.
Society.
So it's a bit like saying, why? Because many are worried
Mm-hmm.
of the returns. This is why if we somehow position as culture investment, it could be different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do I mean by that? I have actually tried this, but not very successful.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted, for instance, because I told you I'm a mama,
Mm-hmm.
so I can say, can all the mama association, all the rich, kayu, kayu, pelita,
All right. Yeah. Okay. All
put in
these,
the money,
yeah.
I can make a story about your story.
Hmm.
And it's not about making money, it's about to say, nasi kanda at one time was just carrying on your shoulder,
Yeah.
right?
See how far they come.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can meet the Chinese community here and say, like, I'm from Taiping, right?
Okay.
what was the problem last time in Taiping? The Tin Mine War between Jihin and whoever. In fact, the word Taiping itself means peace.
Peace.
After all the fighting. And this fighting is just between two Chinese groups. With the, what do you call it? It's just a communal thing. So I can ask to all the tauke there, put in the money. It's not for 20,000, 20 million box office.
Yeah.
I have something. But to be fair to them, let us do the film well.
Right.
Get the resource. If you need to go back to Macau or China to get the original source, just like Malacca, I had a project that almost took off about Malacca.
Okay.
We just wanted to do a film on the last 3 days before Malacca was invaded by the Portuguese.
Wow. Okay.
Before.
Oh.
It's a very thoughtful thing. Yeah.
The Portuguese government has already accepted. Where was the bottleneck? Malaysia.
But that's what I would like to add on to Jet's question. Like, how likely do you think these private sectors would be interested to invest in order to tell their stories?
That's
how likely?
That's where the tax comes in.
The tax incentive is
because those are businessmen. We are talking about businessmen.
Okay.
Of course, the other way of funding is crowdfunding, right?
Crowdfunding. Yeah,
that's fine. I think some of the independent films, like As the Tides Will Come and Feist Production,
all right,
they are doing it on crowdfunding.
Okay.
And there are certain producers here who are brave. They would fund certain films. Like I know LIFE, and they made a new film called Ledge. LEDGE, right?
Okay, all right.
Short film.
Okay.
And they were funded by producers who are very brave.
All right.
Because it's not about money anymore. It's about something else. You see, human beings are driven by different things, right? Yes.
The businessman, the culture is just the second point.
I think the tax is like a bait for them to come
right.
in, put in some money. Yeah.
Yes. And then if there are any rich guys out there, I mean, it's not that we are trying to take advantage, but if I were just to ask you in terms of biographies, how many biopics do you think we can be done here for this country?
Honestly, there's a lot.
If you want to talk about unification here, the current generation must know the beginnings, because remember, we are all at that stage in our lives in Malaysia right now where jungles have been cleared, metaphorically speaking. All the jungles have been cleared, and all you see now is all open space. But who were the people who were around when the jungle was so thick that they had to begin by taking axe and that's not just it's a communal thing. It's the whole country. So that's why I've always stressed, like, that is the sort of films that should be made.
Understood.
And it's not about making money. Okay, we would love to make money.
Yeah, it would be nice to be successful, but mainly we want the people here to learn about the past.
To learn, to see. So that's why, like I was talking about, the role of some things that current generation has forgotten.
Understood.
Just a biopic of P. Ramlee alone will already tell you the story about the suffering of an artist, because that message is still relevant today.
Yes.
You see, one bad thing about Malaysia is that they never recognize its real
potential.
Potential.
Right.
Yeah, I guess this segues into one of our questions, which is the talent retention crisis in Malaysia. A lot of, I would say, like, talent, right, would find it way more beneficial to just
go overseas.
Yeah, go overseas.
Yes.
I would say, like, for example, recent Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh used to be Malaysian, moved to Hong Kong, found success to Hollywood.
Well, you can include that what do you call it? Tash Au.
And Henry Golding.
Harry Golding, and also James Wan.
James Wan,
and Difan. Difan is Sundance. He's the winner of the Sundance award.
Difan, the Kekasih.
Kekasih. So you see, why are these people operating outside? And I have actually, not to say I'm an expert, but I know some of the reasons why.
All right.
So that's why all our time in FINAS last time, and the current management also is aware about this, is to see how best to do it. Now, is it because we didn't give enough attention to,
our
money?
talents,
Or is it because there's something in the system that is not quite right? It's the same system that made people boo P. Ramlee when he performed at RTM. That is a real story.
Wow.
What happened, actually?
You imagine someone who's that. And Malaysia is famous for saying good things about this talent only in obituaries.
Okay.
when you are dead.
Okay.
Suddenly,
That hits really hard.
right.
Yeah.
The greatest musician is only recognized after he's dead.
Yeah.
And then when he was alive, when people like me were trying to link our funds to original music scoring.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll bore you just with this little point here.
No, sir.
Nothing
I
bothers me.
wanted at that time,
Mm.
when I was thinking, a new funding called music scoring,
Okay.
because I have really disliked the stock music footage.
Okay.
I mean, you want a scene, and then suddenly you go and
Stock
check
image.
stock,
Yeah.
copyright free. You know,
Yeah.
you have composers around,
Yeah.
XRTM, very talented
Like I think
musicians.
they take from the libraries, right? The stock.
Yes,
libraries,
Dato Ross Aito, I remember our friend.
yeah. Okay.
They all died having money problems and all that. So why do you end this talent contribution
Mhm.
the minute when you have left your tenure or your contract?
Right.
So that fund was there so that you could create original scoring.
Understood.
You look at all the Hollywood films, European films, you look at some of the music, it's all original scoring,
All right.
right? And then who knows, you might have a theme song
Right.
that suddenly becomes a hit song.
Mhm.
So you see, it's all connected. And one of the most difficult things that I think my challenges here was that trying to connect all these things
Mhm.
and getting the support for these connections.
Mm.
Because it all
Yeah.
comes under different things. I give you another example.
Mhm.
We were operating under Ministry of Science and Technology at one time when I was in MDEC.
All right.
Film was under Ministry of Culture, Arts at that time.
Right.
So what's that expression? Where will the
Integration.
integration
Yeah.
come?
Yeah.
Understood. Sir.
And remember,
Uh-huh.
one of the sad part here is that nobody is malicious.
Understood.
It's not about somebody, a bad guy,
Yeah.
preventing me from doing all these things.
Yeah.
It's the bloody system.
Yeah.
So would you say it's fair if you see all the other countries and how they make their culture boom? Like for example, South Korea, like we mentioned. Is it fair for Malaysia to emulate that, or
Yes. In 2001, when we went there,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why nothing much happened
Mhm.
was because we came back with a report
Mhm.
that came in from the Ministry of Science and Technology.
Mm.
FINAS was under a different setup.
Ministry. Yeah.
yeah?
So can you imagine how far up could that report go?
Now it makes sense.
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
For any listener here today,
Yeah.
I do not know whether it's no longer, it was a restricted document,
Okay.
but we prepared a paper in 2002,
Wow.
Framework for the Development of the Malaysian Film Industry,
Mm-hmm.
based on 7 days in
South Korea.
South Korea with the Korean Film Council,
Mhm.
and also with the Korean government, Korean culture content export policy.
Understood.
Did the document ever reach?
Well, this is my question. Well, I can tell you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It never reached anywhere at that time,
Right.
except for our own ministry,
All right.
until FINAS and MDEC were all under same minister in 2014.
All right.
2014.
It took like almost more than 10 years
Yes.
for that to
Yeah.
happen.
Correct.
Wow.
And by that
Right.
time, where we wanted to revive it, of course, a lot of things have changed,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but all we needed was an update.
Damn.
So for your information, yes, it was released in February 2002,
2002.
Wow.
and it has everything that we observed in South Korea at that time.
Wow. I
Which-
think
which includes almost half of what I've just mentioned to you
Wow.
about how culture
Mhm.
became the item, the priority.
All right.
You see, they no longer consider film industry, music industry, the training is all interconnected.
Mhm.
Because someone that you train for music
Mhm.
can contribute to the film
Film.
industry.
Yeah.
Someone that you train in the film industry can have a live musical event,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So
I think
someone
everything is interconnected.
interconnected.
Yeah.
So someone you train in design can be used to design clothes. Now, is there any surprise why South Korea is able to do a lot of epic story about what Kingdom of Flying Daggers,
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
this kind of
yeah.
stuff?
Uh-huh.
How many can Malaysia do it?
I
Can
don't
you imagine?
Yeah, not even one, I guess. I
Right.
don't know. Yeah.
Why? Because the clothes alone,
Uh-huh.
the clothes alone.
Mhm.
If you expect only the film industry would be the only source of funds for the clothes to be designed,
Mhm.
of course there will be not enough budget, because this kind of thing would come from another source of funds, which is under their culture,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
You want to try to design a Nyonya Baba,
Yeah.
right? You don't ask the producer himself to,
To do the
start to
costume,
spend another $500,000
Yeah,
just to do research. So it
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah.
along the lines,
understood.
that's what I meant by the connecting the dots.
Understood. So,
I
so
see.
it's actually fair to say that, because like since I'm from the film background, right? So it is fair to say that the talents are like kind of flying out. Like no matter the technicians or even the
Mm.
artists, they are flying overseas to further pursue their career,
Yes.
because the industry here, as what sir said, there's a lot more to kind of like align it. Like, is it the right way to put it? Like, or do you have?
Its alignment is one thing, but also the other thing is that
Mhm.
there are not enough projects that
Mhm.
are shared
Understood.
equitably.
Understood. Okay, got it.
And I can say that, okay, if I were to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
aren't it the same people who are making films?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing
Right.
that
Ah.
I've always been like, why am I watching the same face, same
Yeah.
directors, same
Yes.
productions
Same thing.
company?
You
Yeah.
look even on Astro also,
Yeah.
the same people are supplying. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that they are bad. I mean, I'm not saying that they are not making good content.
Mm.
But the bigger question is that how does a newbie
Yeah.
enter the system?
I think that's where
True.
the politics, like I believe, I don't know, like correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
Okay.
I think Astro and like this kind of huge production like Scope and all, they kind of monopoly the market, isn't it? So when like there's a new talent or new production is
Mhm.
like about to come in,
Well, maybe
that's
again-
where they
again.
find it hard, right? Like to
Again, it's the
penetrate.
money. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
Because all these institutions,
Mhm.
I think with the exception of even RTM,
Mhm.
right? You must remember BBC and all that, they don't have advertisements,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, the BBC is something else. But here,
Yeah.
I suppose for another reason, RTM needs to have advertisements.
Okay.
Mm.
Astro Show, of course, need
Yeah.
to have advertisement.
Yeah, 100%.
So in this kind of environment, that's
Mhm.
where I was trying. We were trying our best, basically, although we may not find the full solution. How the government plays the bigger role in all this?
Wow.
Yeah, you see, because government is supportive of the industry.
All right.
Every year, millions are being poured into this industry.
Okay.
So what we found last time was it
Mhm.
wasn't going. It wasn't going into. I wouldn't say it was wrongly going into the different things.
The right
But
channel, is it?
you see the dots that we were talking about.
Uh-huh.
That's where we should be getting the
Understood.
the
Yeah.
focus on.
So
Alright.
if you're in a room full of students, right?
Mhm.
What's your most honest piece of advice you can give them to like navigating this funding landscape in Malaysia?
Right. I would say that first of all, forget about the funding first.
Okay,
Mhm.
actually.
Just think about what is that inspirational masterpiece that you are trying to create.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the creative process
Yes.
rather than
Yeah.
Okay,
The funding is the second part. It is important.
it is important.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But how best you want to convince someone,
Mm-hmm.
that you need the money, most probably it doesn't matter whether mother, father, or your friends.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have that vision, imagine if you are David Lynch, you come up to you
Mm-hmm.
for a script on Eraserhead. Right?
I don't think people believe.
Right.
Yeah,
But there might be someone, right?
Yeah.
There might be someone. But at least if you are David Lynch, you have
Mhm.
it in your head.
Okay.
That's the other thing I would always say to all the filmmakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you are trying to sell the idea for your film,
Mm-hmm.
I would expect 70 to 80% of the film is in your head.
Understood.
So you can tell me if you can answer me if I
Mhm.
were to ask a question like,
Right.
"Hey, what's your opening scene?"
So
Right.
you'll be able
You
to
should
answer.
know.
Yeah,
Because I'm not asking you about the story yet.
Yeah. It's just about like.
Hey, you just tell me the story is about a man who was scammed.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Okay.
But what's your opening scene?
Right.
Is it
right.
you're going to start with him looking in the mirror, opening the tap, close up of the tap, and then zoom back? That is what is needed in a filmmaker because it tests you. And don't forget, anything that you write on a piece of paper today, tomorrow you cannot write the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Right?
that's true.
I think
this
that's why
is
we have
very true
drafts,
for
like
writers.
multiple drafts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And scripts have been known to change 7 or 8 times, but
Yeah.
Jaws is still Jaws.
Yes.
Close Encounters of the third kind is still Close Encounters.
That's
But how many
correct, that's
times Spielberg has changed it, God knows.
God knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
bring in the Godfather, how many times they have changed.
The Coppola. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
But so also since you've seen how other countries fund their film industry, so since we have been talking about this funding policy and stuff, what's that one thing Malaysia should straight up copy, and what should we absolutely not replicate? They're two different questions in the same. Yeah.
Okay, again, this is a personal view.
Yeah, from
but
a
personal
personal
view, but which can be explained if needed.
Please, sir,
right?
go ahead. Yeah.
It's a bit like we do it. We take in culture as an important element.
Mhm.
France is a good example.
Okay.
France loves cinema,
Okay.
and they have another incentive on their own, which is the preservation of the French language.
Mm-hmm.
With English all over, so they want to maintain French culture.
Mhm.
So they go on the cultural front,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they do it is like a tax system,
Understood.
which is a combination of the cinema owners, the cinema chain,
Okay.
the government, and the producer,
Right.
and they call it the Sofica system.
Sofica.
Sofica.
All right.
Sofica.
Sofica.
If you watch, Sofica simply means it's just like an SPV
Okay.
that was set up to make the films.
All right.
So that's why they can go to millions, because there's a tax element. So in other words, if you want to make a war film about
Mhm.
World War II,
Two. Yeah.
or the fall of Singapore or
Yeah.
Penang or whatever,
Maybe
big,
Clang Strike 1941.
that's right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Simple things like that.
Yeah. All right.
You could go full scale,
Understood.
because it's not about I'm giving you grant. This is a business
Right.
setup. A business, meaning it has to make money.
Money.
But Sofica, because it's set up by the government,
Okay.
it gives you the shelter.
You have something to
that
fall
means-
back on.
That means, let's say Tan Sri Jeffrey will not go bankrupt.
Yeah.
He's protected
Yeah.
Ah.
By the
By the-
Sofica
by
system.
by the Sofica system.
Uh-huh.
But the whole idea is that we want that kind of film to be made. So that's the most important.
Cool.
So
Right?
is Malaysia using the Sofica system?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
But
Yeah.
should we?
Okay lah, I have a confession to make. I've been trying to present it for many years, but
Oh my God.
no takers lah.
Honestly, sir, you're such an inspiration. I mean, coming from Mr. Azmil student here personally, you have always been the inspiration. We learn a lot from you, and Mr. Azmil talks a lot about you actually.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's all about. I think maybe because I don't make it sound too simplified.
yeah.
But I was willing. I did volunteer that you put me in 3 months assignment.
Uh-huh.
I can prepare it for Malaysia.
Wow.
Because I know how it works.
Okay.
I know how it works,
Yeah.
and that also answers your question about that's what Malaysia should be doing,
Mhm.
because it is a private public partnership.
Right.
Right now, I believe one reason why we have a lot of issues in our film industry here
Mhm.
is because it's a subsidy.
Right.
It's an over subsidized environment,
Right.
because that environment doesn't create entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
True.
We
Yes.
rely on the
Yes.
subsidies more. Yeah.
Correct. When you rely on subsidies, where does the creative part comes in? You see, it creates another class of people
Mhm.
who knows how to get a funds,
Mhm.
but they are not the creative ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
So since Dato mentioned about the subsidy, right?
Yes.
I have this one question strike my mind right now, because government has been handling a lot at this point of time, and especially due to the Gulf Wars happening and all. So especially mostly subsidies on petrols and diesels and stuff, right? Yeah. So why do you think government should be put in more focus on our film industries or music industry, rather than focusing on other economical events that's been happening in Malaysia? Why do you think they also have to equally invest their interest in this art industry? Yeah.
Well, because at the end of the day, when any country goes into a recession, especially,
Okay. All right.
people need time to be kept happy.
Right.
either happy or to focus on something else.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is almost like saying when the hot climate,
Okay.
we provide more aircon or a spray water.
Yeah. They had that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about convenience, because at the end of the day, investment in this is important, because at the end of the day, it gives you a chance for what I call mental, maybe the wrong word here. It's about getting the mental situation in balance,
Right.
because film can be your comfortable unagony,
An agony.
right?
That's a word.
It comforts
Yeah.
you. It comforts you.
Mm-hmm.
Not only films, but music, the right
Yeah.
TV series.
Mm.
I mean, you don't want to see depressing movies,
Yeah.
so this is the time to have musical. So I
Yeah.
think some of the things that we are doing today, like in terms of concerts and all that,
Yeah.
also very important.
Like escapism.
Yes,
Yeah.
escapism.
Yeah.
Film has always been about escapism anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I can tell you one reason why
Mhm.
Bollywood films are 3 hours, and what Hollywood. Like I was in Chennai,
Okay.
I've asked this question a long time ago.
alright.
Your films are 4 hours. Escapism.
Oh my goodness. Right.
Because the audience come in there,
Right,
they want to escape from the reality outside.
Yeah.
So if we use that in
Right.
a slightly Malaysianized way,
Mm-hmm.
that's the purpose.
Right.
It has a role to play. No different from, whether you want a Baskin Robbins ice cream or the normal
Yeah.
kayu poto.
The
The
what is it called? Chalong.
the
Yeah.
chalong
Yeah. Right.
it is still ice cream,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's still needed because
Mhm.
it's a choice,
Understood, sir.
right?
Yeah, I think over the ages, it's always been like that. Art is a
Mm.
form of escapism. lah.
Escapism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
we're short of time,
Oh, okay.
so I'll
okay.
a closing question for you. If
Mhm.
you could wake up tomorrow
Mhm.
and let's not talk about technical issues, if you can change one thing about the system in Malaysia, especially for the film industry, what would you change?
I would set up a film funding organization on its own,
Right. Like apart from
Right.
Finas, is it?
leaving Finas to look at the creative side,
Okay.
at connecting the dots.
Oh wow. Right.
But when it comes to the money,
Mm-hmm.
bring it to an organization run by bankers who
Right.
will no longer look at the creative side,
Okay.
but who looks at the return side,
Alright.
and also to take into account ROCI and ROI.
Right.
But
Right.
And-
that will require very brave investment.
Yes, this is not original.
Yeah, I think I would like to highlight that
Right.
ROCI here, return of creative investment, right?
Cultural.
Cultural, sorry,
yeah.
return of cultural investment here. Please take note, yeah, listeners.
Copyrighted,
Yeah.
eh?
Copyrighted by
Copyrighted from
Dato
that.
Kamil Othman. Yeah, right.
And this is not original. Australia one time had the Australian Film Finance Corporation,
Mm-hmm.
but they also have the Australian Film Institute. Institute checks the creative. The minute they approve something, you go to Film Finance Corporation.
Right.
But today there's no need, because both SOPs are combined and they have become Screen Australia.
Wow. I think we have lots of inspirations all around the world to emulate, like in Malaysia.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
don't think we are like doing it. We all
Right,
just
we
have to
should
do it.
customize. We don't have
Yeah.
to copy outright, but
Yeah.
like Brian De Palma and Hitchcock,
Yeah,
take the
correct.
best.
yeah, a
Wow.
version of the Sofika
Yeah.
for Malaysia
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sofika, because Sofika has been around. You watch a French film,
Yeah.
tomorrow or whatever, you wait until the end. You will
Yeah.
see the word, or even in the beginning,
Mhm.
it's something presents. You
Yeah.
can see the word CNC,
Okay.
and then you will see Sofika.
Right.
image there.
Right. Cool,
Yeah.
sir. Dato Kamil, honestly, this has been a genuinely eye-opening conversation. I
Thank you.
believe, like lots of insights, lots of informations that we admire, like from the way you put it out there, no?
Yeah. I
And,
learned about the system
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Like that's how to say it. It was put it in the most righteous way, I believe. Yeah. And I
Thank
think I think everyone watching, especially the students here, Sunway students, has walked away with a much clearer picture, I believe, of what the system looks like and where the gaps are, and honestly, what kind of courage it takes to try and change it from the inside. Yeah. And thank you so much for your time and
You're
your
most
honesty
welcome.
today, Dato Kamil.
You're
Really
most
means a lot. You've always been an inspiration and keep inspiring the younger generation.
Right, to all the
Really
young,
look
to all the
yeah.
young filmmakers,
Yeah.
remember, get the story right first, and then you can worry about the other things later.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So,
And remember, it is an intellectual property.
okay.
So meaning what you create is a property.
Mm.
No different from your house or whatever your mother has left you.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
property. That's why films are called IPs.
Wow. Intellectual
Intellectual
properties.
properties,
Yeah. All right. And thank you to our amazing co-host today, Jed from
Yeah.
Sunway Film Society, Vice
you,
President of
KK.
Sunway Film Society.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Yeah. And of course to Mr. Azmil Yusuf for making this happen. Like, thank you so much. For everyone watching, if this got you thinking, share it. Share around. Talk about it. I think the more we talk about it, the better the shape of the community will be in the future. And these are conversations the Malaysian film industry needs to be having as well. I believe that Dato Kamil agree with me, right? Yeah. And we'll see you next time on Sun For You. And this is Sun For You, and your voice, your vibe. Signing off, your KK. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you,
Bye.
Dato Kamil. Alright, have a great day. Yeah. Alright, bye bye.